focuses equally as much on the impact on domestic audiences and domestic politics to help them understand and support their own government's efforts overseas. And finally, in terms of activities, in terms of the trends, we're seeing an increased focus on sport and sport diplomacy. We're seeing a much greater increase in climate diplomacy, in health diplomacy, and in elite focus diplomacy. And we'll see some of those in the case studies that I'm going to present shortly. And if you are interested in any of these, looking into some of our research, all of our research reports are available online for free. If you go into your favorite search engine and look up the British Council Research Soft Power, you'll see hundreds of research papers that we've done over the last 10 years into different aspects of soft power, diplomacy, digital cultural relations, language, linguistics, and other issues. So please do go and have a look. So I'm going to move on now to two case studies. I'm going to start off with a case study of my organisation, the British Council, and looking at specifically the British Council here in Thailand. So the British Council was formed in 1934. We turned 90 years old last year. And the British Council was originally formed as a propaganda organisation to counter German propaganda in the Middle East and in Eastern Europe. But in the 1940s, the British government realised that rather than just having an organisation that was putting out propaganda, it was much more powerful to try and bring together the people of the UK with the people of other countries. And so in the 1940s, our mission as the British Council was fixed. And our mission is to bring together the people of the UK and the people of other countries to generate more understanding. And we generate that understanding through arts and culture, through education, and through languages. And the reason that we think understanding is so important is because we believe that from understanding comes trust, and from trust comes peace and prosperity. So everything that we do is around bringing together the people of the UK, people of other countries, to create opportunities for engagement so that we can understand each other better, so that we can trust each other more, so that we can support peace and prosperity. We're an unusual organisation because we are independent from the UK government. We are not a full part of government, we are arm's length. And that's important because we believe that independence enables us to better engage with people in other countries in a way that government to public diplomacy cannot. It gives us a level of trust because we are not a mouthpiece for government policy. We are an independent organisation which is promoting connections between people. And that independence has enabled us to grow to the stage we are now, where we have offices in 110 different countries, and we operate in 180 different territories and countries. We've been in Thailand since 1952, although we've been engaging with Thailand since the 1930s. In 1938, the British Council took the very first group of Thai scholars over to the UK. They spent a month on a boat to get to the UK. They did doctoral degrees and they came back to Thailand several years later. And many of them went into very senior positions in government. One of them set up Khon Kaen University. Another was a major person in setting up the University of Chiang Mai. And so our relationship with Thailand goes back to 1952. Now, this year, 2025, it's a very important year because 2025 is the 170th anniversary of UK-Thai relations, going back to 1855 and the signing of the Bowring Treaty between the UK and Siam. And that's important because people-to-people relations through education and through culture have been at the heart of the relationship for that 170 years. For example, His Majesty King Rama VI, King Vajirabhut, studied in the UK, in Oxford and Sandhurst, And when he came back to Thailand, he was critical in the forming of the Ministry of Education and the Thai national curriculum. All the way through to the current day, where there are more than 7,000 Thai students in the UK, and the UK is still the #1 English-speaking destination for Thai students. So we believe that engagement through education, English, and culture is the most powerful tool we have for bringing together the people of our different countries. On the education side, we set up university partnerships. We promote science and research partnerships, bringing together the best of UK and Thai scientists, bringing together the best researchers and the best universities to jointly address global challenges such as climate change and sustainable agriculture. We set up partnerships for transnational education, helping students in Thailand develop international skills through higher education. And we promote lifelong engagement through the two-way exchange of students, promoting more opportunities for people in Thailand to go to study in the UK and for more people in Thailand to engage with UK education. Now, all these opportunities for young people in Thailand to meet their personal or professional goals, these are all underpinned by a knowledge of the English language and access to UK qualifications, all of which the British Council leads through our English teaching and assessment and our partnership with the Ministry of Education in Thailand and the Ministry of Higher Education to support English language teaching in Thai schools and in Thai universities. And we believe that if people speak the same language or share a language, they are more able to communicate, and that leads to understanding and trust. We also drive connections between UK artists and Thai artists, between our cultural institutions and cultural policymakers, and we share universal values. And we bring together UK and Thai artists and practitioners to support universal freedoms, to support freedom of speech, to support equality, and to support those values that the international community holds so dear. We also support the development of Thai festivals, and we use UK soft power to support Thailand's ambitions to grow its own cultural prominence and its own soft power. And you can see in the last year, we've had some major events. We were honoured that His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen attended a concert by the UK Royal Marine Band in June, and that in March next year, we will be working on Thailand's very first Inclusion Festival, looking at disability and inequality between the 30th of March and the 10th of April. And all these areas of cooperation are intended, as I said earlier on, to build connections between the UK, the people of the UK, and the people of other countries. I think just one quick point on what we do in terms of the English language, because there is a risk that promoting the English language overseas has a negative effect. And so the British Council has a very clear policy in supporting multilingualism. We very, very much believe that mother tongue-based multilingual education is at the heart of a successful education policy. And we are working with the Royal Thai government to make sure that the engagement and language policy supports equitable access to education for people across Thailand. And that's important for preservation of cultural richness, and it requires social consensus and consideration. What we've been seeing more and more are concerns over how AI is going to work in the education system, and some concerns from teachers across Thailand about whether AI will replace teachers or what would the impact be for students. And a lot of the research, so we've done a global piece of research looking at AI and technology in the classroom. And our findings is that it's unlikely that in the short, medium term, technology, or maybe even ever, it's unlikely that technology will replace teachers. However, I think what we will see more and more is that teachers who can use AI will start to replace teachers who cannot use AI. And so the critical challenge that we have, and we're working with our colleagues and friends in the Royal Thai government, is how to make sure that access to technology is equitable across the education system. So hopefully all those examples show the critical role of people-to-people relations and how the British Council works as an independent organisation that promotes connections through arts, through education, and through languages. I'd like to move on now to a very brief case study of China, because it's been very interesting over the last 20 years to see China really expanding its soft power engagement, moving from cultural security to cultural confidence. And we mentioned the Confucius Institutes before. China now has over 500 Confucius Institutes in over 150 countries and territories, with 9 million students taking Chinese language courses annually. And that's a huge increase over the last 20 years. What's really interesting is that the Confucius Institutes, up until about 5 years ago, came under the direct control of the Chinese government. But in 2021, a new arm's length organization, or an independent organization modeled on the British Council, was set up to manage them, to provide the Confucius Institutes also with a degree of independence, for the same reasons that the British Council is independent, because independent organizations are trusted more than state institutions. A second area of Chinese soft power is in the media and how China is telling its own story. China's CGTN, the TV channel, has succeeded in delivering huge reach. It now broadcasts to over 150 million people per week on TV. And while that's less than the BBC, it's now more than the French Medias Monde and far more than Germany's equivalent. So also, the majority of the reach for China's media is in the global south and in developing countries. And I think that's really important when you look at the focus of Chinese soft power and how China has been very effective in focusing its soft power engagements in global south countries rather than, for example, in European countries or North American countries as well. Now, education is another, just in the same way that the British Council uses education to promote engagement with the UK and to boost UK soft power, China also does, and it has a very powerful scholarships scheme. China now provides more scholarships for African students than the UK, the EU, and Australia combined. And it's increased its presence as a global education hub. We're seeing far, far more international students, including from Thailand, going to study in mainland China. And the number has been a pretty incredible increase. In the late 1970s, there were fewer than 2,000 international students in mainland China, and there are now way over 1 million. And that's a huge increase, and that in itself is contributing towards China's influence and China's soft power. Minister Kim mentioned development as a key factor in soft power. And again, China it has a great story to tell in terms of how it's using development diplomacy to promote its own soft power. Through the Belt and Road Initiative, China has spent over 1,000 billion US dollars to support development in global South countries. And through China's CIDCA, the China Institute for Development Cooperation Association, China provides development assistance throughout the global South. And one of the interesting facets of this, and this is something that we're just starting to see now, is in terms of